Retirement can be a wonderful time to relax, travel, and pursue your passions. However, to fully enjoy your golden years, it's important to make wise financial decisions before retiring. In this video, we'll discuss 5 things that retirees should consider not doing before retiring. By avoiding these common mistakes, you can enter retirement with a solid financial foundation and enjoy a more stress-free and fulfilling retirement. Let's get started. 1. Taking on too much debt. Retirees should aim to enter their retirement years with as little debt as possible. High levels of debt can be a major source of financial stress and can severely limit retirees' ability to enjoy their golden years. Before retiring, it's important to pay off any outstanding debts and avoid taking on any new ones. Taking on too much debt before retirement can significantly impact retirees' financial security and quality of life. A recent survey by the National Council on Aging found that 61% of older adults are currently carrying some form of debt, with credit card debt being the most common. The survey also found that nearly half of those surveyed had not set aside any money for unexpected expenses. An example of the negative impact of debt on retirees is illustrated by a recent news report that found that an increasing number of retirees are struggling to pay off student loan debts taken on behalf of their children or grandchildren. These retirees are finding that their Social Security benefits are being garnished to pay off the debt, leaving them with less money to cover their living expenses. Overall, taking on too much debt before retirement can limit retirees' ability to enjoy their golden years and should be avoided whenever possible. 2. Relying too heavily on Social Security. While Social Security can be a valuable source of income in retirement, it's not enough to support most retirees' lifestyles. Before retiring, it's important to have other sources of income in place, such as retirement savings, pensions, or part-time work. Relying too heavily on Social Security can also have negative consequences for retirees. According to the Social Security Administration, the average monthly benefit for retirees in 2021 is $1,543. While this can provide a valuable source of income in retirement, it's often not enough to cover all of retirees' expenses, especially as healthcare costs continue to rise. A recent study by the Center for Retirement Research found that many retirees are at risk of not having enough income to maintain their pre-retirement standard of living. The study found that about half of all households are at risk of not having enough income to cover their essential expenses in retirement, such as food, housing, and healthcare. To avoid relying too heavily on Social Security, retirees should plan to have other sources of income in place. This may include retirement savings, pensions, part-time work, or rental income. By diversifying their sources of income, retirees can ensure that they have enough money to cover their expenses and enjoy their golden years. 3. Failing to plan for healthcare expenses. Healthcare expenses can be a major source of financial stress in retirement. Retirees should make sure they have a plan in place for covering healthcare costs, whether it's through Medicare, private insurance, or savings. Failing to plan for healthcare expenses is another common mistake that retirees make. Healthcare costs can be a significant expense in retirement, with many retirees needing to cover the costs of prescription drugs, medical treatments, and long-term care. According to a recent report by Fidelity Investments, the average 65-year-old couple retiring in 2021 can expect to spend $300,000 or more on healthcare expenses during retirement. This estimate does not include long-term care costs, which can add significantly to retirees' expenses. To avoid the risk of being caught off guard by healthcare costs, retirees should plan ahead and take steps to cover their healthcare expenses. This may include signing up for Medicare and supplemental insurance, creating a health savings account, HSA, and exploring long-term care insurance options. By planning ahead and factoring healthcare costs into their retirement budget, retirees can help ensure that they have enough money to cover their healthcare needs and maintain their quality of life during retirement. 4. Neglecting estate planning. Many retirees put off estate planning until it's too late, leaving their loved ones with a messy and complicated estate to deal with. Before retiring, it's important to work with an estate planning attorney to create a will, establish trusts, and plan for the distribution of assets. Neglecting estate planning can have serious consequences for retirees and their loved ones. Without a proper estate plan in place, retirees risk leaving behind a messy and complicated estate that can be difficult and expensive for their heirs to manage. An example of the negative consequences of neglecting estate planning can be seen in the recent high-profile case of Prince's estate. After Prince's unexpected death in 2016, his estate was left without a clear plan for distributing his assets. The lack of a will or trust resulted in years of legal battles and significant costs to the estate. To avoid similar problems, retirees should work with an estate planning attorney to create a comprehensive estate plan. This may include creating a will, establishing trusts, designating beneficiaries for retirement accounts and life insurance policies, and planning for the distribution of assets. By taking the time to plan ahead, retirees can ensure that their assets are distributed according to their wishes and that their loved ones are not burdened with unnecessary costs and legal challenges. 5. Underestimating the cost of retirement. Retirees often underestimate how much money they'll need to support their lifestyle in retirement. Before retiring, it's important to create a realistic budget and make sure you have enough savings and income to support it. This may require working longer, saving more aggressively, or adjusting your retirement plans. Underestimating the cost of retirement is a common mistake that retirees make, and it can lead to financial stress and difficulties during retirement. Many retirees assume that their expenses will decrease in retirement, but this is not always the case. For example, healthcare expenses can be a significant cost for retirees, with the average retired couple estimated to need $300,000 or more to cover medical expenses during retirement. In addition, retirees may face unexpected expenses such as home repairs, car replacements, or long-term care needs. To avoid underestimating the cost of retirement, retirees should create a realistic budget that takes into account their expected expenses in retirement. This may require working with a financial advisor to determine how much money they will need to support their lifestyle, including healthcare costs, travel, hobbies, and other activities. By planning ahead and saving aggressively, retirees can ensure that they have enough money to enjoy their retirement years without financial stress. In conclusion, by avoiding these 5 common mistakes, retirees can enter their golden years with a solid financial foundation, peace of mind, and the ability to fully enjoy their retirement. By planning ahead, diversifying their sources of income, and creating a comprehensive estate plan, retirees can help ensure that they have enough money to cover their expenses and maintain their quality of life. We hope this video has been helpful in providing guidance on what not to do before retiring. Thank you for watching.